We're live here from the 2023 JUNO Awards on the red carpet. I'm your host, Samir Mourani, and we're going to be chatting up all of the celebrities and their special guests. You've gotten to this point in your career. There's still plenty to go. What advice would you give your younger self?
Great question. The advice I would give my younger self would be in this industry, you know, as a comedian, you bomb, right? Sometimes you bomb. You're up there and there's crickets and you're not getting a laugh and it feels so bad. And I would tell my younger self that's the only way to go get through it. That's the only way to progress and get better is to have those really low moments. So I would advise myself, you know, when you're sitting in a bomb and you're doing poorly on stage and there's no worse feeling in the world, just remind yourself that that is the feeling of getting better. That's the feeling of learning something, and it's the only way to progress in your career, and it hurts. It's like putting, you know, like a salt on a wound. It's going to help it in the long run.
You know, I'm an independent artist, so, you know, it's a little bit harder doing it as an independent artist. You don't have that big machine of the label. So there's, you know, many times where you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted from doing the administration and writing the songs and recording the songs, producing the songs, then marketing, and so there's a lot of times where you kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed. But at the end of the day, you know, once you're on stage or the record is done, it is, you know, so rewarding and keep going. And then stuff like this, like being at the Junos, just kind of feels like a little bit of a nod from your peers to just kind of say, you know what, you're doing okay. Just keep going.
Here. Do Gent talk first. What's happening?
How are you?
I'm good. Look at how you dress. Look, all right.
I'm trying to stay fresh. I knew you were going to come up and show me up, so I had to do it.
Absolutely. What's going down?
What's going on? How you feeling?
Man, I feel amazing. You know what I'm saying? I got Maestro to my right, Dream Warriors and Hawaii Mighty somewhere to my left. Like, this is great because I just love any time that as Canada and as Canadian institutions that we take the time to be able to shine a light on hip hop and really celebrate it. Yes, we sell well and we do extremely well around the globe, but what I love is that we are able to celebrate each other tonight and really be able to, you know, dig our heels in and celebrate each other as Canadians and really look at what we've contributed to this global 50. Because Hip Hop 50, some people think it's an American thing, but there's been contributions from all around the world. And I think tonight we're going to see some of the contributions that are uniquely Canadian and things that we've offered to the table that people have enjoyed all around the world.
What do you tell the young bucks coming up?
What do I tell the young bucks coming up? To be honest, like, the world is yours. The only thing stopping you is you at this point in time. You know what I mean? Really and truly, there is no roadblock. You have direct access to a fan base and to people who will be your community and your supporters. So do your thing and your community will find you.
I'm used to performing on big stage, not used to talking, so it'll be new for me.
So I got a hard-hitting question for you. Ready? You're used to playing on big stages, scoring big goals, being a top performer. Everybody recognizes you. There are days where sometimes you get up and you're like, I'm not feeling it today.
Yeah.
How do you get past that mental hurdle?
Wow, that's a really good question. You know, obviously, you know, that's where your drive and your competitiveness kind of takes over, and you got to love what you're doing. You know, because when you love what you're doing, you know, you don't have those days where you wake up and you're not motivated. So I certainly love playing hockey and playing for the Oilers. So you know, I fortunately don't have too many days like that.
And what inspires you to keep going day after day after day?
You know, I'm inspired by you know, kind of greatness. I know that sounds cheesy, but you know, by the great players that have come before, and you know, the history of the game, and you know, just inspired to be a part of that.
Incredible. If you look back on your career, you can go back to your younger self, to Connor. What would you tell him? What advice would you give him?
Just to enjoy it, enjoy the ride. It goes by really, really fast. You know, this is my 8th year in the NHL now, and you know, I can remember my first game like it was yesterday. So, you know, it goes by really, really quick. Enjoy it. I'm sure Nickelback would say the same thing. They've been doing this a long time, and here they are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, yeah.
Welcome to the Junos. How you feeling?
I'm feeling very grateful right now.
You look fantastic.
Very happy. Thank you very much.
And this is your lovely mother here?
It's my mom, Angie.
Pleasure to be here.
How you feeling?
Honored. Just honored.
You're a proud mother right now?
I'm so proud.
Let me ask you a question. This is going to be a hard-hitting question. You ready?
Here we go.
On the days where it doesn't feel like it's working and you're trying to get through, there's a wall in front of you, you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. What are you telling yourself?
You know, I had that feeling probably a couple weeks ago, if I'm honest. And I was talking to my girlfriend last night about how humans deal with the highs and the lows and the valleys that we go through. And I think how I deal with it is I need to be happy with Corbin first. Like Boslen, what I'm doing, I look like a WWE character. If I'm honest, this is just all an act. Like we are all human. Like I'm Corbin, and if Corbin's happy, then if Boslen's light goes down, then Corbin's light will still shine. So that means, you know, hanging out with my mom, going to the gym, taking care of my health. I think it's just those really staying to your morals and your roots. That's how you survive this industry. I think it's, if I'm honest, it's the team I have around me. I think they always give me, what's that word I'm looking for? That reassurance, and it's me really not trying to pay attention to it because I'm not in it to, if I'm honest, I'm not in it to be on the red carpet every day. I'm in it to make music that changes kids' lives. Sorry, I spat. So I'm getting all antsy. But no, it's true, man. I think like kids need a voice, especially where I'm from, Chilliwack, outside of Vancouver. I think they need somebody that can do this, so that they can do this. And that's what keeps me going. Not the comments, not the hate comments. It's all good.
Beautiful. How do you keep him motivated when he's not feeling it?
That's a good question. This man has the best question.
Yeah. We have several kids. You have to realize that when you sink to your lows, you're meant to be there. Everything happens for a reason, and you can make it. Like every kid in Canada, you can build from the bottom. You have to have a solid pillar to build from. You're meant to feel those feelings. So if you're going to have a good moment in your highest moments, you have to feel those feelings in those lowest moments. You will make it through. Make sure to open up to people around you and ask for help.
Asking for help is often the hardest thing to do.
Oh yeah, because we have ego, all of us, especially men. Like we're providers. We have to like help. I'm sure you felt that, but it's a man that can is emotionally intelligent is one of the smartest men on earth.
Oh, I guess I would just say enjoy the ride. I mean, every year I feel like social media changes so quickly and life changes so quickly, but when I look back even 10 years, I'm like, oh wow, every single milestone and journey has led me to this moment, and I think that's really special.
Welcome to the Junos. How you feeling?
I feel lovely. I'm excellent.
I'm liking the fit. You look incredible.
Thank you. So do you.
I'm just trying here. Yeah, well, I figured I wanted to try and one-up myself from the opening awards, where I just wore a bow tie, and I needed a conversation started, but it's working.
No, it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
So listen, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, anything.
What inspires you day after day, especially on the days where sometimes you just don't feel like doing it?
Man, I think being a father is what inspires me the most, day by day. It also is the hardest thing, day by day. And yeah, you know, making sure that I get up and continue the hustle so that I can provide is really what pushes me the most. When it comes to inspiration, creativity is always around me in everything that I'm doing, even our conversation here, walking down the red carpet, outside, the wind blowing, the trees. It's all there I've always said that every element in the natural world inspires me, and every element in the natural world can teach us everything that we've ever really wanted to know. You just have to look for it.
And is there a moment in your career that you look back on and go, that was a pivotal moment in me getting to where I'm at today?
Yeah, oddly enough, it would probably be when I was, 22 years old and my first band was dropped from our major label record deal. And I thought that everything was over. That was close to 20 years ago when that happened. And I've done everything I possibly can to stay in this game, and I don't even look at it as a game, to be honest. It's just I love creating music and I love art, and I just want to be able to eat from it. So I've stuck it out, and I think that moment was the one moment where I thought that the thing was over, and it just wasn't. Time is timeless, and it's a very interesting thing.
It really is. It's over in a flash sometimes. It happens just like this, and you go back and you start to think back. What motivates you? You said your children motivate you today to keep going.
Yeah, being a father motivates me the most.
How do you balance between being a father and being an artist, if at all?
Not very well, Sometimes I'm a horrible artist, and sometimes I'm a horrible father, and then vice versa. Yeah,
Just balance it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all a wash, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, listen, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It was a pleasure. Samir,
Julian.
it's good to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoy your evening. Amazing. Andrew, you're looking fabulous. I'm loving this double-breasted color here. Really flashy. You're standing out on purpose.
Yeah, last year's Junos, I came to the event, I saw the flash that people were doing. I'm like, oh, they're having fun, right? And for me, this type of shirtless situation is something I wouldn't normally do. But I think men, we just need to embrace our bodies and who we are. I got this dad bod and I wanted to show it off and have some fun with it. But honestly, man, just like be who you are, own it, just wear what you want.
I love that. On the days where you're not feeling like you can own it, it's not working. What's going through the mind?
Honestly, when days where I'm not feeling I can't own it, I connect back with my family. When I connect back with my sons, connect back with my wife, it's connecting with my friends, going out with my buddies, doing something that brings me joy is a reminder of all the things we have good in our life. And I think that's a great point of view. There are days where we are going to be low, and we just got to check in with the things that we got and realize, no, it's pretty good.
So there's things to be grateful for, things to keep going.
Always, yeah.
And what inspires you day in and day out to keep going?
Honestly, I love my work. I love what I do. I love the opportunity to tell these stories. I love the opportunity to showcase this family on television, on Run the Burbs. I carry that with such honor and pride. So that gets me up every single day. But honestly, my kids and my family, I do it for them. And I remember a couple years back, I didn't get something I was really looking for. I really wanted. My son came up to me, he's like, but Dad, I want you. And that's all that matters. Just keep believing in yourself. You're doing what you're doing. I fell in love with acting and I pursued it because I loved it. So just keep doing it. Yeah.
It's incredible. I know you're a busy man.
Thank you, brother.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Does it ever get old?
That's what you're supposed to do on a red carpet, right? I mean, it can't all be about the press. There's a lot of fans back there that are screaming that they want pictures and they want autographs and stuff. And my thing, anytime someone says like the question you just asked, does it ever get old? I'll be more freaked out when people stop asking me for pictures and autograph. I'm like, well, that's it. We're done, boys. It's a wrap. Career's over, and that's it. It's been a great run.
Here's your award.
Yeah.
Off to the crypt with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you an important question here. You guys have been doing this for a long time. You're Canadian legends. Talk to me about times where you wake up and it just doesn't work for you.
And it just doesn't work?
It's not, your mind's not there. You're trying to get motivated to keep going. You're not hitting a mental roadblock. What do you do in those scenarios?
This morning.
Yeah.
When I woke up.
What did you do?
My throat was on fire. We called a doctor as soon as possible. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sing tonight. And you figure it out.
Panic.
No.
First you panic, and then you stop
amazing.
panicking. Then you stop panicking. So yes, you just
you panic and then you stop panicking.
What do you do, Mac? Relax, sir. What do you do? Relax.
When I'm feeling real panicked, so I'd probably just have a good cry.
Cry?
Yeah, that usually gets me through it. And, come out there and be a tough guy again.
Should we all have a quick cry together, or just? I find my Zen place. I've been having a better luck finding my Zen place. I just go. The only way out is through. I'm gonna do my best. That's all we got.
And after all these years of performing and song, everything, how do you stay motivated to keep going?
Oh, there's a great joke I want to tell, but I shouldn't tell that because this one's going to hit me and our publicist is going to kick me from behind.
So what else is there?
There's other jobs that we could be doing. This is the best job that you can. I mean, we literally say it in the song. Everybody wants to be a rock star. Every actor I've ever met, every sports star I've ever met, everyone leans over at a quiet moment and just goes, I always wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to, I always wanted to play the guitar in a rock band. Like every single one of them says the same thing. And some of them actually make an attempt at it. They try to cross over and do the whole thing. But yeah, I've done a lot of horrible jobs. This is a good one. Yeah.
Congratulations on the induction job.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of sucking. Suck. Fuck it. Because nobody starts great, So you got to suck and then you get better.
Appreciate it. Thank
Bye.
you.
It's fun.
So you're on the red carpet. Some memories start to come back. What was that one time in your careers where you're like, this is not going to work? And how did you overcome it? I'm going to make you think.
Well, definitely there are moments on the road where, everything that possibly could go wrong has gone wrong and you're stranded and your bus is broken down or whatever it is. And you're like, I might be done with this.
Yeah, we were caught in a bus on the East Coast, and it was 35 degrees, and inside it was like over 40 degrees, and the windows wouldn't open, and we were stuck in there, and there was one little hatch like this, and that was a tough one. yeah, totally. We were climbing.
So how do you keep yourselves motivated to keep going?
Well, we make music for a reason. It's not just for fun. I think essentially we're making music to change the world. And I think music can transform things, and we want to be a part of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that my family, my muse, just the way that I want to change the world, it all comes through our music and our lyrics. We're living in a pretty crazy time, I would say, and music is a healer in that capacity, and gives me a sense of hope.
Well, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
All the best.
Welcome to the Junos. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
I'm feeling great. You look great.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Loving the double-breasted jacket. Tell me, where's this from?
This is from Tiger of Sweden.
Oh, very nice. You're not the first person wearing that today. That's
The Tiger of Sweden. No,
Tiger Sweden. Not the
who
same
else is
brand.
wearing
Yeah.
it? Yeah, Tiger Sweden's great. They're
Amazing.
fantastic.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You're at a point in your career where things are moving. You're
Yep.
going in the right direction.
Yep.
You're getting a lot of accreditations, a lot of recognition.
Yes.
Wasn't always like that. There's times in your career where you're probably wondering to yourself, is this even going to work?
Of course.
Walk me through what was going on in your mind there.
It's a struggle, man. Like when you're creating, I'll even say even with success, you still have moments where like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, just because it's so struggling, like it's so difficult at times. But the easiest thing I can say is when the highs are high and the lows are low, right? And you need to find that balance between like, first of all, have a good, stable mental health. You have to have a good balance with life. You know, if I've got a family, I've got a career, I'm a son, I'm a brother, there's so many different things. So when you're creating and you don't, there's that self-doubt that kind of creeps up on you, it's important to just like, you recognize it, but then learn to accept it and put it somewhere, like just let it go, so to speak. But yeah, like it's been a struggle for sure, but I'm here. Aren't I? 10 years.
You're here.
Of a very successful career, and I'm looking forward to 10 more years. So.
And how do you keep the motivation going?
You know, it's a combination of like getting away, you know, stepping away from the space a little bit because you're surrounded by it so much. So like, you know, spending time outdoors, spending time doing other things other than creating music, and just like living life a little bit. Yeah.
Incredible. What advice would you give your younger self if you could?
It's a great question. I'd probably say not to stress as much. Learn to let things go a little easier, and never assume, and don't be afraid to ask. I would say it a lot. I would say a lot.
A lot of pieces of information.
You know, I had to grow up quick. I moved out when I was 19, and I was on my own since then. So yeah, I had to do a lot of growing up.
Well, you're doing incredible work, man. Best of luck, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You as well.
You gotta tell me, what's the inspiration behind this outfit here?
So the inspiration, I wanted to look, it's my first red carpet, so I wanted to look like clean and professional and a little fancy, but I'm a big boot guy, so I wanted to have some boots on, and I knew I wanted to wear some sort of gloves, so I got the gloves, and I'm actually dressed head to toe in Hugo, so Hugo hooked the whole thing up, and they got me looking fly.
Very cool, man. You're looking fly as hell. Let me ask you a question here. On the days where things are not working for you, right? Like you're hitting a mental block, you're not motivated, there's challenges. How do you get through that?
For me, I'm big into like mental health and meditation and just mindfulness, and especially like getting my body right. So when I'm having an off day, you know, I'll go into the studio or whatever it is I need to do that day, I'll give it a shot. And if it's not working out, I don't force it. You know, I'll take a step back, I'll go to the gym, I'll eat a good meal, I'll do a meditation, I'll just relax. I'll do something that makes me happy, you know, so that the next day I'm fresh and I'm ready to start again.
And how do you keep yourself motivated going forward?
A lot of the motivation comes from my team, having an amazing team and amazing family surrounding me, always motivating me and inspiring me as well. I've been fortunate enough to meet some amazing people in this industry who I look up to, so spending time with them and just having conversations about what we want to do and how we're going to accomplish it, it just keeps me ready to go.
Incredible. Keeps you always motivated, on the go, ready. Okay. So if you can now, you get a lot of comments online. Some are going to be negative, right? They can get to you, right? Nobody's thin as that skin. Nobody's thin as that skin. Nobody's skin is that thick, exactly. Welcome to the Junos, gents. How you feeling?
Amazing, stellar, unstoppable.
Feeling great, fresh and ready for the night.
Yeah, man.
Big expectations, big hopes, big dreams, the works. All that comes with being part of this industry. How do you deal with some of the setbacks and the challenges of being in this industry?
Good question. It's actually a current challenge right now, and I think the best thing to do is to be honest with yourself and take a break and take a vacation and disconnect from work a little bit because it's really hard to find time off. We need to book it like months in advance and it gets moved on.
Well, sometimes it's last minute. We get like, hey guys, you can book a holiday tomorrow for like a week. What I did 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
But it's important to have good habits, you know, sleep well, eat well, work out, meditation, and have a great team around you.
So you're here, you're recognized, you do incredible work, but there was a point in your careers where you woke up one day and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. It's not working for me. I'm hitting that mental block thing. There's too many obstacles, too many challenges. How did you overcome those?
That's actually what happened right before we had our biggest hit called Answer Phone with Ella Air and Young Bane. And we were at that point in our career. And we're actually staying in a very moldy Airbnb in a basement in London. And I think we were close to rock bottom, and then...
And then we got a top 5 in the UK, and then we're like, okay, it's almost like, okay, it's like a kick, and you're like, oh, okay, you're up again, and then you go low again, and oh, you go up again, and oh, you go... but
highs and lows.
It's a roller coaster,
it's a
definitely,
roller coaster. You have to get used to it for sure.
Yep.
Take nothing for granted, so we're so blessed and so grateful for tonight because we know that this kind of success doesn't come overnight, but it can just last for a night.
Take the highs and the lows. You can look back on your career. You can go back in time and you can tell your younger self one piece of advice. What would it be?
Be yourself. That's been the thing that I've been trying to, you know, come back to and remember. Especially being in this industry, it's really hard to not like try to adapt to what's going on. So I think it's just like be yourself, be okay with that, be confident in it, and just, you know, believe that what you're doing is right for you, you know? So, yeah.
Is there a pivotal moment in your career that you look back on and go, that was the moment that changed everything for me?
Yeah, I think I actually quit making music in 2016, and then I came back in 2019. And I think just having that like break period to really like reflect on things and think about like who I am as a person outside of an artist really helped for me to figure out who I want to be as an artist. You know what I mean? So I think that would probably be the most pivotal point for me, if anything.
What was it that made you decide I want to take a break?
It was just, I think there was just too much going on that I wasn't prepared for. I think that's really what it was. I needed to really like understand what it means to be an artist in the industry and accept that for myself, and then come back in, I guess, with a right mind, you know, and an open heart, essentially.
I love that. You got to be in the right headspace for it.
Exactly.
So what keeps you inspired to continue going forward?
I think the main thing is really just being myself, I think, and just like enjoying life, remembering to breathe, you know, checking in with like family and my loved ones, and keeping myself surrounded with like good energy and good people. That's really what keeps me afloat, keeps me, you know, inspired.
Okay, Mike. You're at the Junos. It's an incredible moment. And I'm liking the accessories that you got going on. I like the little Juno pin.
Likewise, yeah, we're cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. I just wore it on the inside, you wore it on the outside.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you a question here. You're at this point in your career, you've gotten this far, there's still plenty more to go. If you can look back in time, go back to your younger self, give yourself some advice, what would it be?
Listen to my instincts, you know. It sounds easier said than done, and I try to do it every day, but, you know, that earlier kid version of myself had some sort of gut feeling about music, and is sort of chasing that feeling when you're in the studio. That's it.
Absolutely. And what inspires you to keep going today?
My beautiful wife here, Bethany.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm so loved.
Answer.
Yeah, that, and, you know, also the artists I work with are all really talented and inspire me, and hopefully I inspire them too.
Incredible. And on days where things aren't going your way, when you're not mentally there, it's just not coming to you, and there's a little bit of laughter going on, I sense something's there. What do you do to get out of that? How do you keep going?
Sometimes it's just put it away for a bit, take a walk, do some, just instead of you know, pounding your head against the computer screen, just go for a walk, get your head out of it, come back with a new perspective, and try again.
Amazing. Thank you. I gotta button up the vest.
Because it's Gent's talk, you know what I mean?
We gotta get it right.
You know what I mean? There you go.
We're rolling.
Rolling.
How are you, brother?
Rolling. Yeah.
How you doing? Welcome to the Junos.
Great. I feel fantastic. Happy to be here. Happy to support and honor Nickelback. Is really why I'm here, to support them.
Nice, incredible.
You look crazy. Is that an ascot?
That is an ascot.
This guy's killing it.
I had to step up my game because I figured all you guys are gonna look so good.
No, you look incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I had to step one up for the media guys. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Nice.
Let me ask you a question. Long career. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, just like any other career.
Right.
How did you deal with the downs?
you have to realize that in Buddhism, there's this law called the law of interdependent origination. And what that says is because this is, that is. You wouldn't know up if you didn't know down. If everything was up all the time, well, how would you know? You got to be down. And then when you're up, you're like, I'm really up. You need all of it. And I think it's important to not even see it. One of the greatest quotes by a guy named a Zen monk called Bodhidharma is, there's no separate events in nature. People separate events. An up is part of a down. Because you can't really be up if you're not down.
So that's something that mentality you've carried with you.
Yes, because people will say you're down, but really you're just getting ready for another up.
I like that. Always getting ready for another up.
You know what I mean?
How do you stay motivated going forward?
Just like trying to date a girl out of my league.
That's incredible. Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, brother. Nice to meet you.
Good.
I'm liking the fit, and I'm liking the 416. We're repping
T.O. always.
Always. So tell me something. What advice, if you could, what advice would you give your younger self? After all the lessons you've learned to this point in your career, what would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self, believe more in yourself. Don't go ham as many times as you may have, and that you're good. And the reason that you're at the Junos right now and still touring 20 years later is because you're good.
Incredible. 20 years later, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. How did you deal with the downs?
Just had to get up. You could either sit in the mud and complain or do something about it. And the thing was, do something about it. And that was me trying to get up and go on. And for everybody that's doing it, there's only so many people that are over their night success. A lot of people put in a lot of work for a lot of time. And then you look at them and they're like, oh, they look so professional. But yeah, they've been doing it for 10 years. So keep going, be yourself. And I think that's the key to everything. Be your own self, carve your own space. And that's the good part about doing music, because you're allowed to express your personal self.
Incredible. And how do you stay motivated going forward? What advice would you give to people coming up right now?
I get motivated by looking at artists that I'm in the room with. I couldn't tell you, me and Chaos being on the phone, that's not something that I dreamt about. Me and Maestro being that cool. Missy Me, that Dream Warriors, that's here. Ghetto Concept, that's cool. So it's that's the humble part of everything, and I'm here, right? I'm here, so.
Incredible. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you very much. You have a wonderful night.
I feel great, man. God is good. I feel really good.
It's good. You excited?
I'm excited, man. It might not show on my face, but I am very excited.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you a question. You can go back in time. You can give your younger self some advice. On a day where you knew, you could think back and you can remember a day where you just weren't feeling yourself. It wasn't working. What advice would you give that version of you?
I'll give that version of me the advice that your inner thoughts create your outer world. Smile, you'll feel better. Think positive thoughts, you can push out negative ones. The better you get at it, it's a skill.
And how do you keep yourself motivated now going forward?
I just try to stay disciplined, to be honest. Motivation is always fleeting, it's always leaving me. It's a couple sips of coffee, that'll motivate me. But yeah, I just try to stay disciplined, man.
How do you do that? What do you tell yourself?
I avoid problems, whether that be, it could be excessive females, excessive alcohol. I try to avoid things that are going to lead me down a bad path. And then I try to stay in the gym. I try to stay learned up, read every now and then, and concentrate on music and making an impact with people that listen to it.
And how do you block out the negative, whether from people in your circle or whether from online comments? There's negativity all around us. How do you block that?
I think I just block it out by accepting it. They say muscles got to break to build. So it's if you always try to avoid negativity, you'll never be able to deal with it. So what I do is I just face it head on. I understand that, you can get 99 positive comments that one's going to make you angry, but you just got to get used to seeing that so it no longer hurts the way it used to. So just accepting it.
Incredible. Thank you so much for your time, brother. I appreciate it, man. Good. How are you guys doing?
Gents talk.
That's right. How you feeling?
Good. Happy to be here. Finally
made it to a normal Junos, you know?
A normal Junos. What does that mean?
Compared to the COVID years.
Oh, right. But
It's
it's still
back.
cold here.
Yes.
It's cold.
Definitely cold.
Is this your first time in Edmonton?
No, we've been here a bunch.
Okay.
Yep.
Does it get any colder than this?
Yes, we played the opening of the Grey Cup in 2018, I think, and
That
it
was an
was
outdoor thing.
And
yeah, it was
outside.
outdoor at 8 p.m. and they were like, just sing and sound good. I was like, yeah.
Okay, so I got a really important question for the both of you here. On days where one of you is not feeling it, what do you do to motivate the other?
Whoa. You
I think-
gotta
yeah.
step up a bit. You gotta be the person to like do the interviews, do the singing on stage. Sometimes like one of us is like lost a voice,
Yeah.
and you're like the other person has to kind of cover, has to pick up the slack.
We have been fortunate in the sense that like if one of us has a bad voice, sick, or just not having a good day, the other one is usually up. So
Yeah.
we're fortunate in that sense.
Perfect. And if you can go back in your careers and give your younger selves some advice, what would it be?
Dang.
Making you think.
Yeah, it would be to stop being so hard on yourself, and people want you around. That you're not in the way of anything, and the path you're on is exactly how it should be, and stop trying to rush it because you're not enjoying the ride.
Okay, that's beautiful. I like that.
For my younger self, when the app TikTok comes out, just post right away. Just keep on posting. It'll work.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Okay, what inspires you to keep going?
Just that little inkling of like, I can't stop. I don't know, and I think our family has been so supportive, and our dad has like given us everything, has never looked at our dreams and gone, no, that's stupid. It's gone like, no, you need to drop out of school and go and chase that. So I think that's just in our blood to just keep going.
Yeah. Honestly, same thing. Ditto, honestly. We just never stop. As soon as we get like a gold record, we're like, okay, it's platinum time. Like we never are satisfied, which is I think the goal in this industry.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
your
much.
evening. Thank you.
I have some cousins. I have cousins that flew from literally all parts of the country just to come to the event tonight.
Very nice.
So I think winning was like also sort of like validating for them to win the award and have them get to be here and celebrate with me is like, yeah, it's really special.
Do you draw inspiration from your family?
I mean, my parents cultivated a life of music for me from a really early age. I think I showed an interest in music, before I could even walk, and throughout my entire childhood and teenage years, it was always something that I just had a love for, really. And when it became something serious for me, I never got this like, oh, you need to go get a real job. You need to I did get maybe you should go finish your degree just in case, which I did. And coincidentally enough, I finished my degree, and within 6 months I was doing music full time.
So if you can look back on a point in your career and say there was a pivotal moment that got you to where you are, that breakthrough moment, what would it be?
I had some friends very early on that made connections for me, really like social connections at the end of the day. I played a show with a now, 12, 13 year long friend who sent my music to other friends of his that he really didn't need to do. It was just him being a good guy, really. Shout out to Cecil. And from there, it just, the entire project blossomed, and before I knew it, I was, doing it full time.
Incredible. What inspires you to keep going today?
Oh, man. I mean, my family. I have my wife and I have 2 kids. I love the life that we get to live with me doing music as my job. We've already got to take the 2 boys to all these different parts of the world. And yeah, I wanna provide a life for them where, in the same way that I was, encouraged to do music, they get to look at a life of music as a thing that is not frivolous or something, that they can see that a creative career is something that's attainable.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy your evening.
Thanks so much.
Hello, hello, hello.
Sharp, man.
Thank you. I'm liking the outfits. Look at I'm liking the pendant. What's your North Star?
My North Star, what's that mean? My North Star.
Oh.
Well, you're wearing a compass, aren't you?
Yeah, well, this just symbolizes, you know, we drive ourselves. We navigate our own lives. That's what that means. You know, a lot of people follow different people. We got to lead ourselves and be leaders. So that's what this symbolizes.
That's very nice. What advice, if you can go back in time, give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
Oh, man. Don't be scared. I spent a lot of time being scared. And the me today, a little more bold, a little more, you know, brilliant. So don't be scared.
Yeah, I would say, you know, there's one thing to assimilate, but it's something better to be able to innovate. Because a lot of times it was easier just to try to see what everyone else is doing, but to assimilate, going on to what Keysha Freshh is saying, is to be brave, man.
And what motivates you to keep going? What motivates you to get up tomorrow and say, I'm going to put in the work again?
Because I know kids are looking at us, man. The kids are looking at us, and they're going to see what we're doing. It's not about us anymore, you know? The generations coming after us, what are we going to leave for them? And that's what made me, what's one of the reasons that made me want to do a kid. So we just got nominated for Best Children's Album of the Year. You know, Julia the Great, featuring Keysha Freshh. And it's a beautiful thing, man, because people grew up listening to me back in the days, but we're here now still doing it, you know?
100%. Young people, 100%. I'm with them on that. Young people in my family. That's my motivation.
You look very familiar. You have a face that is very familiar to me.
I hope that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
Okay. We're good. So, how you feeling? You're on the red carpet.
I'm excited. You know, I'm honored to be at another JUNO Awards. This is my second nomination.
Congratulations.
So it's always surreal.
And what would you tell your younger self? You can go back and tell yourself some advice. This is the sixth one, but it doesn't get old. You go back and you can give yourself advice. What would it be?
Girl, don't give up. And don't take yourself too seriously, and things will work itself out. Because when I was younger, I was quite depressed at a point in my life. So I would tell her, girl, don't take life too seriously. Everything is going to work itself out.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much. I know you're rocking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm liking the shirt. It looks great. The fit looks fantastic.
Thanks, man. I went with the little paisley pattern. You know, paisley in the shirt. It looks. Yeah. Trying it out. This is nice too, man.
Thank you.
Looking fresh.
I figured I needed a conversation starter. Stand out for some of the other guys on the red carpet that I know are going to outdress me, so I needed to do something.
Yeah, you're coming correct, man. Looks good.
I appreciate it. So listen, I got a question for you. It's going to be a hard-hitting one.
Okay.
You look back on your career, you look back at all the things you've accomplished to this point, you're walking the red carpet at the Junos here. If you can go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Probably to be a little bit more patient with yourself and a little bit more understanding. You know, this is an industry that is, you're going to get a lot of no's, you're going to get knocked down a lot. And that was really tough at first. So I would just tell him like to keep his chin up, keep going. It's going to be all right.
And what motivates you and inspires you to keep going?
What motivates and inspires me to keep going? I just love creating, man. I love creating new works, new music. The ability to bring something into the world that wasn't there the day before is a really thrilling thing for me. And it allows me to express myself. I'm not the best at vocalizing, so doing that through music is special for me. That's how I communicate and connect with the world, and I want to keep doing that.
Incredible. What inspires you to create the music you create?
That's a good question. I think it's life. I forget who said it, but like someone said, you have to stand up to live before you sit down to write. Might have been Thoreau. And you know, I just want to live my life and be able to express the ups and downs, the trials, and the triumphs through music.
That's beautiful. I appreciate that. That was great. Thank you.
No problem, man. Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
Good. I want to ask you an important question here. You can go back in time. You could tell your younger self some advice. What would it be?
If I could go back in time and tell my younger self some advice, I would say believe that this could happen earlier. I would say believe that the red carpet experience is something that actually can happen. And don't wait. What's going on? And don't wait for the validation to be external. So just internally validate, which is not an easy thing to do. I realize that, but I think it came for me a little bit later, and I'm so happy with my trajectory. But other people, they don't gotta wait, right? So just remember that if you don't believe internally, it's hard to convey that externally. So just starting here.
And how do you stay inspired?
How do I stay inspired? Well, the internal validation helps. Okay. Yeah. That's good. You know, I try to like just introduce healthy things that eliminate the interference. You know what I mean? So I know if I hear a fire beat, it's on. If a good idea comes, it's on. It's really those interferences that get in the way, right? The wrong people, the wrong things, the wrong food, the whatever. So I try to just make sure that I'm creating a healthy, good environment for myself so that the authenticity of my music and the output, that just flows through. You know what I mean? That's what I'm working.
Incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.